Afternoon, Paul. What's the latest with Pierre-Luc Dubois, and is he an option for tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't have him going tomorrow, Ken. I'm going to, but we're taking him. So we'll take everybody. But as of now, I don't have him for tomorrow.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Paul. I know with this running the 11 forward 7D was a bit of a, by design, given your circumstances. I'm just curious what you learned from the two games. And if hearing a guy like Mark Scheifele have never experienced that kind of strategy heading into a game, if you could see that, Monday beat.
I liked it. Like, I liked it for the front end of the bench, and I didn't like it for the back end of the bench as much. But it looked at those minutes hard. Like, I think Charlie got those D minutes just about right, running 7. I liked it for the forwards because just of the goal that we scored, right? When you can drop a higher end guy down on your fourth line and match them against maybe the other team's fourth line, there's an advantage there. But you can run that 11 concept with 12 forwards, right? It just shaves some minutes off somebody on that fourth line. But you can still run 4 lines and do the same thing. So the fourth line minutes come down, you can actually manage the recovery better on the bench. So if there's no penalties taken, everybody would like to play in a 3-line rotation, right? Every third shift. But even with that, and it happened a couple times with Calgary, where you get in a long run of no whistles like that. I think the first timeout last night came at about 11:55 in the first period. So that's a pretty significant run straight past the timeout. So then you need the 4 lines, and you're kind of thinking, I'd like to have 12. But other than that, I liked it a lot. I've done it in the past. Over the course, you've coached enough games. Every game that you lose a forward, you're running 11, right? And in those games, I liked it. I like it when you're not running back to back. So I think that, there's a chance you're going to see that happen again. And then some of it is all those kind of quiet injuries. On every given night, you've got 8 guys that are on your rehab report, right? And sometimes it's more that they're dealing with something that you're obviously not telling people about. So sometimes you're going to run 12 forward just because you got some question marks, or having 7D really makes sense because you got 2 guys you're a little bit worried about in your lineup. So that's the other reason why you would do it. But that's an exceptionally long answer too. I liked it.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Gregor. Hey, Paul. Nikolaj Ehlers was telling us that the Oilers are a fun team to play. And it just makes me wonder if maybe some teams are less fun. And is that sort of, as a coach, would you wish that was more consistent, that you guys just played your game and it didn't matter who you were playing? Or no, is this?
I would give you what I'd like to think is a really good answer. If we weren't playing Edmonton next, right? So you got to be careful what I say because it's going on the Edmonton. Well, yeah, we love playing, So the game last night, the game that Calgary plays, Arizona, the new Minnesota, there's a real defensive mindset first to their game. And they also very, very quick, and they're going to get on the puck. So there's not a lot of room. Right. So Nikolaj Ehlers, one of the things that you would know about Nikolaj is his entry numbers are off the charts. His ability to carry the puck across the blue line and make something is like world class, right? Relative to the rest of the league. He does a really good job with it. And then you're going to play a whole bunch of guys, teams they're going to have 4 guys, maybe 5 guys sitting on that blue line. It's no fun. Right. So it's a grind. It's a 2-feet grind. And so we would talk about that really a lot. Fellas, you're not going to have any fun playing this game tonight. So we might as well just deal with that before the puck drops. Because if you go out and try to make this a fun game, this is going to be a tough night for the Jets. The guys that play like Nicky would like to play against Connor McDavid, it's not because he's easy to play against. It's a style of game. Colorado plays that certain up and down. Tampa Bay plays that. They have so much skill and so much speed. And there is a trade. Like we played a game against Tampa probably last year. It was in Tampa. The expected goals for both teams were over 4, which is like a freak number, right? Most of them are sitting under 2 and 2 maybe, and it was chance. Well, goalies hate it, coaches hate it, forwards love that stuff, right? So there are teams that are way more fun to play against. That doesn't make them easier to beat. They're just more fun to play against.
We'll go back to Ken Weave from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Paul, you talked over the last couple of weeks about how it's a good time to test out a couple of different combinations. What are you hoping to see from this formulation of your top six here?
So there's a whole bunch of good things going on for me with the Jets up front, and even with like not just the top six, like Mason Appleton's game right now, like it's defined. He is on the puck. He's an incredible forechecker, puts tremendous amount of pressure on the play. So that lets me to look at Lowry and Appleton as a pair, and now Matty Perreault, who statistically it wasn't great when Lowry and Perreault were playing together. I know Perreault's on his offside, but now it's a pretty darn good line for us. This year, I feel that Ehlers and Kyle Connor, and now we've got a new guy in Paul Stastny, are almost new players each year. Like Nikolaj's a different player. Kyle understands his game now and can assess his game very well. And Andrew Kopp, right, has added some offense to his game. So I would say I'm still learning about what might be the best combinations. I also would love to be able to get to the point where I had more than one answer to it. You go back to Paul's question about different styles of game, to be able to go into Edmonton, move one piece around. Now your lines look a little bit different because of the matchup, and have that be a real positive thing. So a lot of times you make adjustments because, you never adjust something that's really working well for you. You make adjustments because you don't like something. You'd like to get ahead of that sometimes and say, okay, we're going to play a team that looks like this. This is their line matchups. This is the D. You got a pretty good idea how they're going to run against each other. We flip one guy, we look different. And being on the road and being at home, we're getting to an age of maturity, I think, with our forwards that we're going to be able to do that. And I'd like to experiment with it.
We'll go back to Jeff Hamilton from the Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Paul, when it comes to Pierre-Luc Dubois, can you kind of help us or kind of explain what happened between Friday and Saturday? It seemed like
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you exactly what happened. The game ended. He went in and got some minor treatment, not on an injury, just, the normal feel good, left the rink feeling good, came back on the ice, came back out the next day, got on the ice, and something wasn't right. So we were just hoping it was going to loosen up. So he didn't feel like there was no, we call it a mechanism of injury. There wasn't necessarily an event that bothered him, that he came to the bench sore. It's just something that wasn't right when he got out in the ice. We looked at it. We got a little bit of a problem. We're not sure exactly how long it's going to be. It might be a couple of days, might be a few more days than that. And that's the God's honest truth.
I was just curious about the quarantine part. Like, is it related to him being off for 2 weeks?
No, Scott, this is a physical ailment, non-COVID related.
Final question to Ken Weave from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weave.
Paul, you mentioned yesterday that Blake Wheeler looked right. What impact was getting him the double shift? It was the best he skated probably in a couple of weeks. Was that part of it? Was the extra ice time, or
no?
Which was the chicken and which was the egg there?
The egg was, I can't tell would that be a metaphor or an analogy? That doesn't work in this situation. Which came first? Like, he's feeling right. I thought the last couple of games his power is good and he's on it. So he can play center ice, and I don't want to continue. If it's Mark Scheifele that goes every second time, then I'm at 30 minutes with the guy, and I don't want to do that. So I moved him down into that spot. He's back, powerful, feeling good.